So we are discussing about Raghunath Das Goswami and also Damodar month. That was a topic. So I'll try to combine both and then let's see what we can do about it. Just let me offer obeisances and then I'll begin. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Vishesh Shunyavadi Paschatishtarane Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we know that we all are well aware Kartik we are about to enter Kartik, Damodar month. Another Damodar month in our life. We're fortunate to celebrate another month at least in a lifetime. Next Damodar month we don't know whether we are there or not, especially in this age of Corona. But at least I hope we all will be able to celebrate this month. Now the question is why Damodar month or which is called as Kartik month, it is so important for at least for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. I think all Vaishnav for all Vaishnav communities, especially North India Vaishnav sects which are Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Nimbark Sampradaya, Vallabh Sampradaya, for all of them the month of Kartik is very, very important. South Indian Vaishnav Sampradayas, Madhva Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, for them it is important, but it's not that important as for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. In fact, our Acharyas, they quote about this month. I think in Padma Puran, there is a quote from Padma Puran Uttarakhand. There is a quote that of all days, so actually Krishna is saying this verse. He's saying, of all days, Ekadashi is most dear to me. Of all plants, Tulasi is most dear to me. And of all rivers, Ganges is dear to me. And of all months, Kartik month is very dear to me. Similarly, in Skand Puran and other Puranas, there are detailed descriptions of Kartik month, Damodar month. There are, if you read Hari Bhakti Vilas, written by Sanatana Goswami, there are detailed descriptions how we should celebrate Kartik month, what are the rules and regulations, and so on and on and on. Now, the question still remains, why this month is so dear to Krishna himself? And when it's dear to Krishna, it should be dear to us. So, there is one secret to it, that this month technically, the name of this month is Damodar month, according to Gaudiya Vaishnav calendar. But this month is dear to Srimati Radharani. And there's a reason for that. But before I tell you this point, one point has to be emphasized. This month, there is a nakshatra which is called as Kritika Nakshatra. Kritika Nakshatra. So from Kritika Nakshatra comes the name Kartik. From Kritika, the month which has Kritika Nakshatra, that is called as Kartik. For example, Karna, his name was Radhe. From Radha it becomes Radhe. Or maybe Arjuna's mother was Kunti, so it becomes Kaunteya. So if you add A after the initial letter, that means that thing belongs to that particular person. So Kritika Nakshatra belongs to whom? So that is called as Kartik. From Kritika comes Kartik. The month where Kritika Nakshatra comes, that is called Kartik. And Srimati Radharani, she is called as Kartika Devi. She is a presiding goddess of this month. The presiding deity of this month is Damodar. The presiding goddess is Srimati Radharani. And why she is the presiding goddess of this month? Why not the month after this, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Masanam Marg Shirsho Aham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, of all months I am Marg Shirsh. Marg Shirsh means November and December. That's Marg Shirsh of all months. So if Krishna is Margashirsh, Krishna is saying, I am that month, November, December. But we are just preceding to it. We are in October and November. So this month, Damodar month, precedes Margshirsha month. And we all know that what precedes Krishna? Service. Service precedes Krishna. You can attain Krishna through service. So this month, because it comes just before Margshish, this month is month of service. And service, the embodiment of service is Srimati Radharani. So this month belongs to Srimati Radharani. One reason is this: why the presiding deity of this month is Srimati Radharani. Why this month is so dear to Srimati Radharani? Because this just comes before Krishna. What is before Krishna? Service. For devotees, just before Krishna is service. For non-devotees, just before Krishna is Maya. That's how Vyasadeva saw Krishna, isn't it? Apashyat Purnam Purusham Mayam Tat Apashrayam. That's how it went. So Vyasadeva saw in his trance Apashyat Purnam Purusham. He saw Purn Purush, he saw Lord Krishna. But then he saw another interesting thing. He saw Mayam Tad Apashrayam. He saw Maya behind Krishna. Just before him, just behind him. So similarly, for non-devotees, of course, he had this vision, Maya. But when devotees see Krishna, they don't see Maya. They see Srimati Radharani instead of Maya. Because she's service. Maya is illusion. Am I right? They don't see illusion. So that is why this month is dear to Srimati Radharani. Of course, another reason is this month is called Damodar. So Damodar means, we all know, we all sing in that Damodar Ashtakam. So what's the last verse? What's the last verse? Tadiyodaraya Natha Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai. So Satyavrat Muni is praying, Srimati Radharani is so dear to you. Why? Because she has bound you with love. The rope by which Yashodama tied Krishna, that rope is Srimati Radharani. And so we know this pastime. Yashodama was trying to tie Damodar Krishna, but Krishna, she couldn't tie. Always a rope left 2 fingers short. But then Srimati Radharani came and she gave her ribbon. Yashodama tied the ribbon and lo and behold, the rope she could tie. So that rope, Tadiyodaraya Natha Vishwasya Dhamne. So that rope, he is offering obeisances to the rope. And that rope is Srimati Radharani. So this month is dear to Radha not because she has bound Krishna, not because of that, but because Krishna has allowed himself to be bound by the love of Srimati Radharani. So this month, all the 12 months in the year which are named after Krishna, this month is Damodar, then there is month is Govinda and Madhava. All the names of every month, they actually signify and express one quality of Krishna. So this Damodar month expresses the quality of Bhakt Vatsalya. Bhakt Vatsalya means Krishna is very merciful to his or her or his to his devotees. Bhakt Vatsalya means that Krishna is making himself accessible to his devotees. He is infinite, he is supreme, he is inconceivable. How can we living entities access have access to him, it's impossible. We can't even think how to access him. That is why we need scriptures to tell us how to connect with him. But even though there is a process mentioned in scriptures how to connect to him, still it is entirely upon his will. It is entirely upon his will whether he gives access to us or not. Isn't it? Yameva esha abrinite tena labhyas taseva esha abrinite tanam swam. Very famous words from Upanishads. Prabhupada used to quote. So, Bhakt Vatsalya means, Bhakt Vatsalya doesn't mean that Krishna has so much love for his devotees. That's a definition, but that's a very sentimental definition. Krishna has a lot of love for his devotees. That's okay, but as a student of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we don't like to put it that way, because anybody can say this, Krishna has so much love for his devotees. But as a student of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and as a student of philosophy and as a student of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, books are there. Bhakt Vatsalya means Krishna is giving access by being attracted to the pure love of the devotee. So Radha, she likes this month. Why? Because if Krishna doesn't give access to himself, we'll not be able to know anything about him. Am I right? So this quality Bhakt Vatsalya, that is why many acharyas, they say, this quality Bhakt Vatsalya, it is the queen of all qualities. The innumerable qualities in Krishna. Innumerable. But which is, so if you ask which is, okay, so which is the topmost quality? Of course you might say that there is no top and low in Krishna's qualities, but still, which is a topmost quality? Still there are gradations. So if somebody insists, then Bhakt Vatsalya. Because without that quality, you can never know all of the qualities of Krishna because you will not know him. So he has to present himself in front of us. Because of this quality of Bhakt Vatsalya, Krishna does so many pastimes, he takes so many incarnations, he interacts with his devotees, he allows himself to be bound by Srimati Radharani. That is his credit. So that is what is this quality Bhakt Vatsalya, which is signified in this month, which actually is signified in this ISKCON. I'll just close that. बाहर का बंद करना पड़ेगा. So that is why Srimati Radharani likes this month a lot. That is why she likes a lot. That is why she is a presiding deity of this month. And by the way, what we are doing in Kartik month, what we are doing? We are actually celebrating, we are actually praising Srimati Radharani in this month. Kya ho raha hai? Just sit, just leave it. Actually, I am getting disturbed. Just sit. So we are actually worshipping Srimati Radharani in this month. Not just Damodar. It is Damodar month, but we are worshipping Radharani. We are pleasing Radharani. This month is dedicated to Srimati Radharani. That's the internal understanding of Damodar month for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. For ordinary people, we worship Krishna, but for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we worship Radha Krishna. Especially we worship Radharani exclusively. That is Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Radha Dasyam. Of course, that's very high stuff topic. But that's the goal. That's the goal of life, Radha Dasyam. We are on to become the servants of Srimati Radharani. Or we want to become the servants of Srimati Radharani. Gopi Bhartu Pad Kamalayor Dasan Udas. Simple. And here comes the role of Raghunath Das Goswami. Because Raghunath Das Goswami, he is our Prayojan Acharya. Raghunath Das Goswami. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami is Sambandhacharya. and Rupa Goswami's Abhidhay, and Raghunath Das Goswami's Prayojan. Prayojan means goal. So if you read Raghunath Das Goswami's books, you will understand what's the goal of life. That's the idea. In fact, are we supposed to read his books? That's another topic. He has written books like Stavavli. So one of his most important contribution to Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Stavavli, where he is praying to Radharani and he's showing what do you mean by Radha Dasyam. But we are not allowed to read that book, by the way. So then what to do? Well, you all read. You have all read what Raghunath Das Goswami has to give to us. You have all read his book. All of us have read his book, if at all we have read. And that book is Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela. Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela is all Raghunath Das Goswami's notes. That's it. What Raghunath Das Goswami got from Sarup Damodar. He came to Vrindavan. He was about to do suicide. Rupa and Sanatan, they requested him not to commit suicide because so that he can share his experience with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At least for 12 years or so, he had association with Mahaprabhu. He had a lot of memories and a lot of experiences with him. So Rupa Sanatan wanted him to share those experiences, and they requested him, "You please live for us." And Raghunath Goswami, he not only shared his experience with Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, who was his disciple in Radha Kund, he also shared his notes which Sarup Damodar Goswami handed over to Raghunath Das Goswami. And based on those notes, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami compiled Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela. And by the way, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ante Leela is the most important because all other portions of Chaitanya Charitamrita are in details or in brief explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal. That's already done. But of course, there are some extra pastimes in Madhya Leela, but the most important contribution of Chaitanya Charitamrita is Ante Leela, which is nowhere to be found. And that is Raghunath Das Goswami notes. So actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela is written by Raghunath Das Goswami. If you really think in a causal chain link manner, he is a source of Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is simply becoming an instrument to reveal the experiences of Raghunath Das Goswami with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's how it comes. So we all know what Raghunath Das Goswami has written and we all read that. It's high stuff, but still we read. Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela, Prabhupada has published in ISKCON. We have that book. So what's that Ante Leela all about? Ante Leela is all about Radha Dasyam. That's all. The goal of our life. But here's the point. What do we mean by Radha Dasyam? That is very controversial issue. What do we mean by Radha Dasyam? It's very controversial. Because if you go in Vrindavan, if you go in Mayapur, people think Radha Dasyam means what can I say? It means you think yourself as Gopi and you taste Madhure Bhav. Am I right? That's what Radha Dasyam is. And you always speak Radhe Radhe. That's Radha Dasyam. But that's not anything near to Radha Dasyam, or to say that it is Radha Dasyam, first of all. So our goal is Radha Dasyam, and how to achieve it, that is Abhidhay. So if you want to achieve Radha Dasyam, if you want to achieve it, then what you are supposed to do? If you want to achieve something, if you want to get something, first you have to understand what is that thing. Alright? So if you want to buy milk, then you should know what milk is. Then you will go in market and then you will ask for milk. Otherwise, if you don't know what's milk, then somebody can give you chalk powder. This is milk. Okay, this is milk. But it's not like that. So the whole point is, what is Radha Dasyam? If we want to attain it, we have to know what it is. And when you understand what is Radha Dasyam, that will define the process what you are following. Alright? So if you think milk is chalk powder, then we will go to shop where you buy chalk. So you're going to take that path. If you know what's milk, then you will take a path to mother dairy, to dairy, and then that path will be different. So the goal defines the path. Prayojan defines Abhidhay. Because Vrindavan, all these people, all these Babaji Sampradayas, they think Radha Dasyam means you want to serve Radharani in spiritual world as gopis and manjaris. And so what to do? What's the practice? Practice is you try to get sentiments of gopis. Try to behave like gopis even. Try to think like a female. Practice Madhurya Bhav. Meditate on pastimes of Radha Krishna where they are intimate pastimes. So you will have a practice before you go there. That's what they think. But for us, Gopi Bhav is very different, at least for Bhaktisiddhanta and Srila Prabhupada. For us, what is Gopi Bhav? That Raghunath Das Goswami has defined in his books, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela. If you read carefully what is Gopi Bhav, at least I have 5 points for that. So, what is Gopi Bhav? Let's talk about it. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he is talking about it. Now the first point is Gopi Bhav. Raghunath Das Goswami, in one of his poems in Stavavli and Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says I fall into anxiety when I see a drop of perspiration on the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. He says this. So what that means? Or he says, so there is one prayer in Stavavli also, Radha Panje Ka Stotra, something, I forgot that. So of course you don't need to go to Stavavli. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so, if you read all the poems of Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela, what Mahaprabhu is singing, he is so anxious to serve Krishna. That's the whole theme of Ante Leela. And that is called as Gopi Bhav. Gopi Bhav, what Radharani is thinking exactly. That's what we want to figure out. Who is she? She is a goal and object of life. But who is she? If you want to know a person, then you have to know what they are thinking. And not just how they look. A thought defines a person. What is their mood? How do they think? How does Srimati Radharani think? What is her mood? Her mood is, she's always in anxiety. That's what is Gopi Bhav. Gopi Bhav is not just sweetness. We should not confuse Gopi Bhav with sweetness. Although Gopi Bhav is called as Madhurya Bhav, Madhur Bhav, sweet Bhava. But that's not the essence of Gopi Bhav. It is sweet, but that's not the essence. Alright? Sugar cane is sweet, but the essence is sucrose. Sucrose has sweetness, that's another thing. So similarly, Gopi Bhav is sweet, but what's the essence? What makes it sweet? That's what we want to figure out. What makes it sweet? What makes Madhurya Bhav Madhur? And this is what it makes sweet. That is Gopi Bhav. What makes it sweet? Spiritual anxiety. That's the word Prabhupada uses. That is Gopi Bhav. Anxiety to serve. That is Gopi Bhav. Anxiety to serve. That's very important. ये भरत, can you translate to both of them if हाँ वहाँ बैठ के अंदर बैठ. So that is the essence of Gopi Bhav. That's the first point we have to understand. We should not confuse Gopi Bhav with sweetness, which is a great error, and for which Bhaktisiddhanta always fought for against Sahajyas. And if we also start thinking in the same fashion, we are greatly we will be extremely we'll be extremely unfortunate to actually think that Gopi Bhav is sweetness, because that's what Babajis and Sahajyas proclaim. That is a problem there, and we are different from them. We are in a line of pure devotion. And if we think Gopi Bhav is sweetness, then we actually undo the entire life of Bhaktisiddhanta and all the books of Srila Prabhupada. So first thing, Gopi Bhav, the first point, what is Gopi Bhav? That is spiritual anxiety, or anxiety to serve, which is a theme of Chaitanya Charitamrita Leela. Of course, that's sweet. That anxiety is sweet, that's another thing. But that is anxiety. So keep this in mind. So our object is, so what we are discussing who is Srimati Radharani. Because this month is of Srimati Radharani, so we should know who is she. Who is she? We can know her by knowing what are her thoughts and what are her mood. And that is called Gopi Bhav, because she is topmost Gopi. And number one mood, her mood is always to be anxious to serve Krishna. It's not that she wants to serve Krishna. It's not like that. That is with us. For her, it is not that she wants to serve Krishna. For her, the anxiety is she is unable to serve Krishna. There's a lot of difference. We want to serve Krishna, but she is thinking, I am unable to serve Krishna in spite of serving Krishna 24 hours. That is called spiritual anxiety. For us, it's different. We want to serve him. We have a lot of time. We can't serve him and we want to serve him. For Srimati Radharani, it's different. She's serving him 24 hours, and her anxiety is she's unable to serve him more than 24 hours. What to do in that thing? Prabhupada says that is Gopi Bhav. Prabhupada said that is Srimati Radharani. So if we want to follow her, we have to develop this spiritual anxiety. We don't have to become a gopi. We don't have to think Krishna is kissing Radha, Radha is kissing Krishna, so it's so sweet. We don't have to do all these things. Those things neither we have to do, neither we are entitled to do. Neither we have deservance to think like that. Who are we? But we can follow Gopi Bhav. We can follow this spiritual anxiety. Prabhupada, so many times in his books, he says, develop this spiritual anxiety. This is a prize to attain Krishna. Because this is what Srimati Radharani is. And if you try to understand her, follow her, she'll be pleased with you. If she is pleased with you, then you attain Krishna. That's all. Finish. So that's the first thing. Second point, what is Gopi Bhav is, there are two words you have to remember. Detachment and determination. That is Gopi Bhav. Detachment and determination. Now, how do we come to this point? Sarvam Bhattacharya, he composed a verse, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartham Ekam Purusha Purana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharir Yastamaham Kripam Ruthir Prapatye. Saram Bhattacharya has composed this beautiful verse. He says, who is Lord Chaitanya? He is Krishna himself, but Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. He has come to teach us devotion which is ornamented with Vairagya, means detachment, Vidya means determination. Because knowledge brings determination. Knowledge brings discrimination, discrimination brings determination. So that is Gopi Bhav. This is what is Mahaprabhu. Who is Mahaprabhu? This is Mahaprabhu's mission. This is Mahaprabhu's mood. Who is Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is in mood of Radharani. So this is mood of Radharani. So this is Gopi Bhav, that's all. Finish. The second thing about Gopi Bhav is detachment and determination. So don't judge your devotion by number of rounds you do, or by how many lectures you give, or how many people you make devotees. That can be tricky. But the most important thing is, if we are followers of gopis, and if we are followers of Gopi Bhartupat Kamla Das and Udas and Udas, then the symptom we have to see is, and if we are advancing, we are going near Srimati Radharani, then the symptom is detachment and determination. If your determination is unshakable to serve Krishna, and if you're detached to everything in this material world except service of Krishna, then you are actually real follower of gopis. You are actually having Gopi Bhav. You are follower of Gopi. And that is Gopi Bhav. It's clear? So that is second point, very important point. Third point is in fact more important than that. Gopi Bhav means firm faith in Krishna. Now why I want to discuss this is because many devotees say, Prabhuji, my mind is disturbed. My mind becomes disturbed. So sometimes through devotees, sometimes to politics, sometimes while chanting, my mind is disturbed. But that doesn't matter, because what matters is not disturbance of mind. What matters is disturbance of faith. That's what matters in the eyes of Krishna. Your mind may be super disturbed, but if your faith is not disturbed, then you are actually you are having Gopi Bhav. Gopi Bhav means you don't injure your faith. In this material world, there are so many things which can disturb your mind, which can actually weaken your mind, but your faith should not be weakened. If you can do that, then you are real follower of gopis. Bhajante mam dhrida vrataha. Faith. So don't worry. If anytime your mind is disturbed, don't worry. If your faith is not disturbed, if your faith is as it is, then actually you are advancing. Because mind can be disturbed. There's so many conditions in this material world which can disturb your mind. So many useless people. We are in an atmosphere of disturbance. So what do we expect except disturbance? But faith. So Gopi Bhav means firm faith. A faith which cannot be disturbed in thousands of disturbances. Even though mind is disturbed. Even though body is disturbed. Body is disturbed by diseases. Mind can be disturbed by situations. But faith is as it is. That's how it goes. So that's Gopi Bhav. And the fourth point is, what is Gopi Bhav, by the way? What Srimati Radharani wants? Srimati Radharani wants that her beloved Krishna should be, what they say, should be blessed and should be glorified all over the world. So that's what Krishna wants. That's what Srimati Radharani wants. She should be glorified all over the world. So, he should be glorified all over the world. That is the innermost desire of Srimati Radharani. So what that means? That means she wants to preach. That's all. Preaching means kirtan. Kirtan means glorification. That's all. Finish. So Gopi Bhav means preaching. And that is what is Kartik. Kirtida Devi. She is daughter of Kirtida. Kirtida means kirtan. She is born of kirtan. When you glorify Krishna, she is present. She is the power through which you glorify Krishna. That is why Damodar month is also called Urja Vrat. Urja. Urja means energy. She will give you energy to worship Krishna. So, energy to do kirtan. Kirtan is real worship, to glorify Him, to preach. So, preaching mission is real Gopi Bhav. Anybody who is preaching, he should be absolutely be sure that they are true followers of gopis and not those who are staying in Radha Kund. Because Prabhupada said that they are not staying in Radha Kund, they are staying in Narak Kund. Because they think they are followers of gopis, but actually they are burden on gopis. They are not followers. So at least these 4 things, that these are 4 things I have told. This is Gopi Bhav. And the 5th thing is, Gopi Bhav means expertness. Now what gopis are doing in Goloka? So what they are doing? They are playing with Krishna. Am I right? They are playing with Krishna. They are playing with Krishna in Nikunja. All gopis are serving. What they are doing? They are very expert in serving Krishna. They are expert in making Krishna happy. That's what we sing in the morning. Tatrati dakshayat Ati Vallabhasya. They are very expert. So that is Gopi Bhav. That is Gopi Bhav. Expertness. Expertness. Gopi Bhav means expertness. If you are serving Krishna, you should become expert. And if you become expert, that is Gopi Bhav. आपको ट्रांसलेशन चाहिए वहाँ बैठ सकते हो. So that is called expertness. So devotees can do service, but if you are not expertly doing service, then you are not follower of gopis. As far as you can, we should make our service refined and fine-tuned as far as possible. Then we are followers of gopis. Gopis are 100% perfect in their service. We are followers, we are not 100%, but at least we should try to become perfect in our services. If you do services mechanically, then that's no point, then that's not Gopi Bhav. That is the 5th thing. And the 6th thing is, Gopi Bhav means surrender. Raghunath Das Goswami was completely surrendered to Sarup Damodar, following authority and surrender. There is no Gopi Bhav without following authority and surrender. So Raghunath Das Goswami, although he is Prayojanacharya, he was completely surrendered to Sarup Damodar Goswami. Mahaprabhu entrusted Raghunath Das Goswami to Sarup Damodar. He surrendered and he followed that authority. So Gopi Bhav is not an independent mentality. Gopi Bhav means surrender. And what do you surrender? Surrender your will to Krishna. That's the whole point. Surrender your will. Although we say surrender your mind, but more appropriate word is your will, because mind carries the will of Krishna. Surrender to His will. Don't entertain your own will. Let His will be accomplished in the heaven and on the earth. No? Christianity, that's a prayer they pray. That's what is surrender. That's what is Srimati Radharani. Let His will be done in the heaven and on the earth. That is Radharani. And if you are her followers, then We have to get this sentiment. Let His will be done. Let Him decide whether we become gopis or peacock or stone or grass. That is Gopi Bhav. Gopi Bhav is not that I want to become gopi. That's crazy. That's a madman. That is Gopi Bhav. So these are some 6 points I could think of when we talk of Radha Dasyam or Gopi Bhav. If we want to become servants of Radha, we want to please Radha in this month of Kartik, our whole endeavor should be to understand who is Kartika Devi. It's not just method of singing Damodar Ashtakam. We can say, and I mean to say, we sing Damodar Ashtakam, Krishna and Radha will like it so much. But the whole point is, you understand what you are singing and try to understand for whom you are singing. This month is for that. So who is Radha? And if you want to serve Radha, you have to understand who is she. If you want to understand who is she, you have to understand how she thinks, what is her mood, what is her nature, and what is her nature? This, what I have explained, 6 points. She is having spiritual anxiety. She is complete with determination and attachment. She is having firm faith. Her faith never gets disturbed. She is only interested in glorifying Krishna. She is expert in doing service to Lord. And last is, she has surrendered her entire will to the will of Krishna. That is she. This is called Gopi Bhav. This is Raghunath Das Goswami, by the way. Raghunath Das Goswami is not different from Srimati Radharani. From Rasvichar, he is her servant and he is a Prayojan Acharya. So he has revealed to us what is Gopi Bhav. If you look through the eyes of our parampara, and this is Gopi Bhav. And Prabhupada embodied it. And what we are doing presently, preaching, that is in fact real Gopi Bhav. That is more pleasing to Radha than any other thing. But of course, there's a point of preaching, and then there's internal cultivation of detachment, determination, spiritual anxiety, all those things. Then we can say we are really doing Radha Dasyam, and then we leave to Krishna rest of the things. He will decide when to take us in spiritual world, what's Sarupa, and this and that and that and that. Siddha Pranali and all those things. Those are the gifts, those are the consolations and blessings of Krishna, which he will award to us if we really follow Gopi Bhav as I have explained, as Acharyas have explained. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you.